Hey everybody, Richard from TrueShot here. So we took some time here to do this tier video for you guys, but I'm actually in the process of editing it right now, and I just wanted to make a quick little video. There's some audio issues. I tried my best to kind of correct it as much as I could in terms of taking out background noise and different levels and whatnot, but it's still not where I'd want it to be if I was watching a video. So I just wanted to make this real quick to apologize for that. And Adam and I have spoken about some ways to kind of prevent this in the future in terms of us recording our own independent audio, and then I can sync it together from there. I think there'll be much better results with that rather than, you know, trying to record through Skype and then, we're off screen. You'll see in the video that my box of my face gets smaller, and there's some scuffage going on here, but yeah, guys, we're gonna always try to make improvements and keep doing that. The audio isn't terrible, but like I said, if I was watching a video for an hour, it would kind of be a little annoying to me. So I totally understand that. So just bear with us for future videos, and appreciate you watching. Thanks. Take care. Hello, everybody. We have a pretty interesting video for today. I've noticed a couple other channels that we follow here on YouTube have done this as well. Our friend Hardcore Keen did this. He's really the one who inspired me to want to do this. He did a reaction to Paradigm pretty recently, and I wanted to try my hand out. It was a very entertaining watch, and I figured we had to set this up so that Adam and I can each have our own lists because we're definitely going to differ on some stuff, and there's no way we can do it on one list. So basically, the way this is going to work is I'll start off. We'll go band by band, give a little bit of our history. If we like the band, what we think of it, whatnot, and we'll rank them. We'll go to Adam. He'll do the same thing, and we'll keep going back and forth. If we don't know the band, or if we don't feel comfortable ranking them, we'll just leave them. Because like there's some bands on here that I really have never even listened to just by
Mm-hmm.
a quick look at it. Um, so yeah, if we haven't heard the band, we'll leave it there, and otherwise we'll rank them accordingly. So without further ado, I'll start. Let's get into this.
All right.
So the first band here on the list is I the Breather. Now I have a little bit of history with I the Breather. And from what I have heard from them, I dig them. I know that I think that there's some talk going on right now that they may be coming back, dropping the I the part and just coming back as Breather. So I dig this band. So I mean, every time I hear them, I'll crank that up. So I'm gonna put them in the crank it up every time category because, like I said, they just made me want to do that whenever they come on. So Adam, you go ahead with I the Breather.
All right. I don't have a up close and personal relationship with them. However, I do have. I think they have a couple EPs, maybe, or at least one. But I think they're pretty good. So I'm gonna spot them right there.
All right, pretty good category.
Yep.
All right, so any given day, I've heard a little bit of stuff by them. I think Matt Heffy was actually featured on one of their tracks. So from what I've heard, it's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. So I'm gonna put any given day in the pretty good category.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you on that one as well.
All right. Okay, so this band here, Avenged Sevenfold, I have a long, long history with this band. This was kind of my intro into the heavy music genre. However, their last two albums, everything up until Nightmare, I love. After that, I do not like, but I will base it off of the majority of their discography. So anytime I hear, Bat Country or um, anything off of Nightmare. I mean, really, like literally anything before, like Nightmare and back. I'm
Mm.
cranking that all day, every day. So I'm putting Avenged Sevenfold God tier.
Wow. So I stopped listening to them after Fallen. Is that the album name?
Waking the Fallen, yeah.
Waking the Fallen. I think I learned a couple of songs off of that, off of that album on the guitar when I was in college. I never got super into them, so and I'm gonna get roasted for this, but I'm gonna put them in the pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, this band, I'm not even gonna say anything. It's a Muir. Everybody knows who's watched this channel even for 5 seconds that I love this band more than anything. So they're god tier right up there in the same tier as Avenged Sevenfold for me.
Okay. I'm gonna say Amira, you've turned me, so I'm going with Crank It Up every time.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
we
have a
go.
long history with them, but I don't know, man. You've gotten me into the heavy, and
Yeah,
in your face stuff, so I'm in.
yeah. Because one thing I've been trying to get Adam on board with is I really want TrueShot to have that like that Amur style song where it's just a
Oh
2 minute
God,
just like just
I
glass.
just have to just shake my head.
Just I just want everything to crumble. I want destruction. I want the heaviest song in the world. But all right, next up we got Born of Osiris. This is a band that I really enjoy. The only problem with Born of Osiris is that sometimes for me it starts to run into they do so much electronic stuff that it's sometimes it's hard to discern one song from the other. But I dig them. I mean, so I'm gonna go with. Hmm, I'll go. I'll go crank it up every time because there's definitely songs by them that whenever I hear them, I gotta crank it up. So I'll go with crank it up every time with Born of Osiris.
All right, I got a long history with Lee McKinney and the boys in Born of Osiris. I think I've seen them live maybe at least 12 times. Abstract Art is probably my favorite song. So they, for me, are an all day, every day.
Oh, all right. All right, next is Alpha Wolf. I love this band ever since I really started getting into them with their mono album when Aiden was with them, and I really dig that album. And I dig the new EP, and I dig Black Mamba. Everything by them I love, so they're going to all day, every day for me. Alpha Wolf.
So I'm not super into them, but if I'm driving in the car and I hear them pop up, I'm cranking that shit up, dude.
All
Every
right,
single time.
nice. All right, so next up we got Issues. Issues. This is a band that's gone through many different iterations sound wise, but there's some stuff I like, some stuff I'm not too keen on. Their most recent album, Beautiful Oblivion, I like. It's very different, but I'm gonna go with an overall kind of feel with this band. So, A Beautiful Oblivion, I'm cranking it every time, but overall with Issues, I'm putting pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah, I've never been a big supporter of Issues. To me, they're really, for my musical taste, tolerable.
Okay, all right. While She Sleeps. See, this is gonna get me some hate in the comments, I think, but I've tried. So they have a few songs that I really like. Like I think Four Walls and Silence Speaks are the only two songs that I've heard by them that I really like. So I'm not gonna say never ever because that would mean that I don't like anything. So I'm gonna put tolerable just because there are some stuff that I do like. There is some stuff that I do like.
I'm gonna go with you on that one, man.
Okay.
I don't have anything else to add to it.
Cool. All right. Well, Capture the Crown. I honestly don't believe I've ever heard a song by Capture the Crown, so I'm gonna leave them down here in the pool.
So I've heard a couple of songs. I couldn't pick them out of a lineup, so I'll probably leave them there as well. But for Crown the Empire, is that what I see?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to do Crown the Empire first? Yeah.
Yeah, I just figured I'll go with it. I'm gonna
Go ahead.
crank it up every time, man.
All right. Crown the Empire for me. So see, I don't have a lot. So here's the thing with me with Crown the Empire. I don't have a ton of history with them, and the history that I do have with them, nothing's really got me yet. So I'll put tolerable. We did play a show with them, kind of. We were in the same building at least. So that was a fun.
Slaughter.
Yes. No, no, no. It
No,
was
no,
Rage Fest. Rage
Rage
Fest.
Fest. That's right.
Yeah, with Attila and Bela Maya. So I'll put tolerable just because I got to admit, I haven't had a ton of experience with them, but what I have had, it's not stuff that's really grabbed me. So I'm going to leave them at tolerable.
All right.
So I'll go here at North Lane. Again, a band that I have a little bit of experience with. But so I like a lot of their stuff. But there is some stuff off their most recent album that I can't get into, but there are some songs that I can. So I'm going to put North Lane in pretty good.
All right. I'm I don't know. I think it depends on which song. I haven't heard too much for them, so I'm gonna leave them there, Rich.
All right. Where'd you put? I can't see your screen the way that we're filming this. So where'd you put them?
I didn't put them anywhere. I'm gonna leave them.
Oh, you left them.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna leave them because I
Okay.
haven't maybe two songs I've listened to, but like so I can't
Okay.
really.
All right. So next is Between the Buried and Me. Again, I've listened to literally one song by this band. We did a reaction to them, which was enough for 5 songs. I just don't have enough experience with them. I'm just gonna leave them down below, just because I don't have a proper history with them to rank them. But the one song that we did hear, I thought was really cool. They kept it really alive and really interesting for what was it, 16 minutes or whatever. But for right now, I'm going to leave them just because I want to give them a fair grade at a later date. So,
All
Adam, I
right.
know that this is a band that you've listened to quite a bit, though.
Yeah, so I started listening to them back at Alaska, and then I had kind of like an ebb and flow through them. So I didn't really get super into them, but like they come on, I'm jamming it. So for me, Between the
Yeah.
Buried and Me is a crank it up every time.
Okay. Next, we got All That Remains. So, the newer All That Remains stuff, I think I can speak for everybody. It's not the same All That Remains that I know and love. But I will say The Fall of Ideals is literally one of the best metalcore albums in the history of the genre. I mean, that album, front to back,
Which one?
it's The Fall of Ideals.
Oh yeah, yeah. Was that the one with like
So,
six on it and stuff?
yeah,
Yeah, I
like
mean
literally
that's
every
where they really started to blow up because they were on what a Guitar Hero and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they're not an all day every day for me though. But if the Fall of Ideals comes on, that's an all day every day for me. But I'm gonna put All That Remains and crank it up every time because they have so many songs that I love. And like I said, Fall of Ideals is just unbelievable. So yeah, man, you had All That Remains.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you holistically on that one.
All right. So here's a band that I've heard a lot about, and it's funny. I think I've never listened to anything by them though, except for
Me
little
neither.
bits here and there. I know that they're really ridiculously heavy, at least from what I've heard. But I don't have enough experience with them, so I can't rank them.
I mean, that's just a cool band name. We butter bread with butter.
But yeah, we butter the yeah. I think it's in there. Yeah, we butter the bread with butter. But
Oh, I
so,
can't see it from where I'm
yeah,
at.
yeah.
It's
So
hard.
you can't rank them either though, huh?
No, I've never heard of them. Never heard of them.
Yeah. All right.
What about novelists?
Novelist is another band, man. I've heard a lot about him. I've never heard anything by him, so I gotta leave.
Really?
I've never heard him. No, never.
All right. So they just lost their singer. I believe they're French from France,
Yeah, the
maybe.
yeah, I know that, but they're on Sharp Tone, I believe.
Gotcha.
I think. I don't quote me on that.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I have been listening to them since they came about. I think they just released, I say just, but released a second album. I'm gonna have to say, I mean, they're not an all day every day for me, but they are definitely a crank it up every time.
All right. So Slipknot, I mean, to the OGs, they're an all day, every day for me.
All right, so I'm gonna get some hate for this because some metalcore people may call me I don't have the roots of metal if I don't like Slipknot. After their first album, man, I was done with them. I
Wow.
moved on.
Okay.
So to me, if it's not off their first album, it's pretty good.
Okay. So you're putting them pretty good.
I'm putting them in pretty good.
All
Yeah.
right. Tesseract, another band I have no experience with.
Me,
I know the name, but I've never listened to them.
me neither. I bet you if you put something on, I might say, okay, I've heard this, or but I couldn't pull them out of a lineup, so I couldn't give them a fair grade.
Okay. Volumes. So some stuff I've heard by him is okay. Some stuff I can't really get into. So I'm gonna put volumes in the tolerable category.
All right. I am gonna also put volumes in the tolerable category.
Yeah, so I know that they just recently released a new song too, which I haven't checked out. So that would
Yeah.
obviously factor into this as well, but I haven't heard it. I know that their old guitar player Diego passed away, so that's
Right.
obviously sad or unfortunate. But all right, Veil
Yeah,
of Maya.
they've been hit or miss with me volumes.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely. Veil of Maya. I mean, dude, this band is so freaking good. They're gonna be a cranking up every time for me.
So, Veil of Maya, I've seen them with their original lineup, and I've seen them with their most, their lineup now. I actually prefer their first, or actually, it's really their second, because I think their first one was only, I don't think he even made a recording. But anyways, off of their first two releases, these guys are an all day, every day for me. I mean, I can't get enough Veil of Maya. I prefer their older stuff, but I still love the new stuff.
Okay.
So they're an all day, every day for me.
Experience with some tracks, but the overall discography, I would say that I'm fairly novice level. But from what I've heard, I dig it. So I'm going to crank it up every time with After the Burial.
All right, so I'm a huge fan of these guys. Of course, I'm gonna brain fart on the friggin' album name, but they came out with the dueling guitars, him and Justin.
Yeah.
The guitars and stuff. Um, I don't know why I'm brain farting on the album. Anyways,
Yeah. Anyway.
anyways, they're an all day, every day for me, and I'm just gonna
Okay.
pop up into my head. We're gonna be two more bands through and be like, boom, that's what it is.
That's fine. Uh, Abandon All Ships. I know the name. I've never heard of though.
What?
Yeah, I've never listened to Abandon
They're
All
like
Ships.
those are cranking up every time for me. Those guys, they're like electronic, genty metalcore. Like I just breakdown synths over it. I mean, they're good.
Yeah.
I like them.
All right. Cool. Upon This Dawning. I've never even heard of that band.
I don't know who that is.
All right. Crystal Lake. So here's the thing with Crystal Lake for me. So that we got to see them live, and it was an absolute, it was insanity.
Yeah,
I will say though, sometimes their recorded stuff doesn't do them justice for whatever reason. I don't know why, but
it
they're
just doesn't
cranking up every
translate.
time though. Yeah, it doesn't translate, but I've seen them live, so I know what they can do. And everything I've heard, I do like. Although there is a little bit of a disconnect, but they're cranking up every time for me. Crystal Lake.
Yeah, I would agree with you too. I think we share the same view on Crystal Lake.
All right. Tear Out the Heart. Never heard of that band.
No idea.
Yeah. I See Stars. Again, I know the name. I've never listened to them though.
Really?
Yeah. So I kind of, this might be prejudicial of me, but I see the name of the band. And I'm like, man, I don't think I'm gonna like them. So that's definitely me
Yeah, they
judging a
got
book
that
by
high
its
vocal
cover.
singer that I love. That high register, singing. So for me, I'm gonna go crank it up every time.
Okay. Breakdown of Sanity. What I have heard, I do like. They're a pretty interesting band. We actually got Paradigm was compared to one of their albums by some comments that I read.
Oh, really?
But, so what from what I've heard, I think they're pretty good. Breakdown of Sanity's pretty good.
I don't know anything about them, so
You're just gonna leave them.
I'm gonna leave them.
All right. Era. So from what I have heard, I dig it overall though. Sometimes some of it doesn't click with me, but I do think overall they're pretty good. I'm gonna put Era in pretty good. I know that Adam has a much higher opinion of them, but
Wow.
I'm putting them pretty good just
I'm
because.
I'm questioning our relationship at this point right now. I mean, Jesse Cash, man. I mean, for me, probably he has probably one of the most noticeable voices in metalcore, and he plays really well guitar. So for me, Era is an all day, every
Nice. I knew you were gonna say that.
day.
But no, I think they're just one of those bands that sometimes I really like. So like Eye of God, I think is awesome and stuff like that. But there's some stuff that I just hasn't registered with me. But next band up is Sylar. So their album Help I really like a lot. Other than that, there's some stuff that I like. But their most recent album Seasons, I felt that they went in a direction that I personally wasn't a huge fan of.
Mm.
But their album Help, I got to see these guys live actually at the Bungalow before we were ever even a band, so that's really cool.
Oh, cool.
Um, but so I'm gonna put them. So this is tough because do I put them in pretty good because of the overall discography, or do I do crank it up every time because I like one album in particular? I'll go. I'll go pretty good, just because when you
I think it's
say
fair assessment.
when you say crank it up every time, I think that means the band in general.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go pretty good, just because there's a lot of stuff that I can't get on board with. But yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
I have no idea who they are.
Really
Nope.
interesting. They're very Linkin Park influenced.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Their album Help is really cool. But all right, Invent Animate. There, there's something about this band, man, that I have yet to really connect with. But it's not bad. It's just something that I just cannot connect with yet. So I'm gonna put Invent Anime Intolerable.
So I'm gonna. To me, a lot of their stuff is. I don't want to say the same. It's not. It's not the right word. They have a sound, and
Yeah,
they have a structure, and they do their thing. For
yeah.
me, it's pretty good.
Okay. All right. Next up is Sworn In. So I believe it's the Death Card is the album. I'm gonna double check here real quick. Yeah, the Death Card. I do like some stuff off that album. The vocalist back then had a really distinct tone. They recently released, well, not recently released, but relatively recently released a new song, and I didn't like it. So I'm gonna put Sworn In is pretty good because the songs that they do have that I like Hypocrisy and stuff like that, are really, really, really good. So I'm gonna put Sworn In a pretty good category.
All right. I'm gonna put Sworn In. I don't know a whole bunch of their stuff. I'm gonna put them in pretty good. Mainly because what I have heard, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do that. I like it,
Okay.
but it's not something I'm gonna, I'm not gonna crank it up every time.
Yeah. All right. I Prevail. Bow Down is a hell of a song. I think that's
Mm,
a really cool metalcore song. But other than that, a lot of their material doesn't connect with me. So I'm gonna put I Prevail in the tolerable category.
yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, man.
Um, I honestly cannot read this next band. I
I
don't.
can't either,
I
dude.
literally don't even know what is that.
I don't know.
I I guess. See, Hardcore Keem had a problem reading this one too. See, guys, this is why if you are ever in a band or you're gonna be forming a band, make the
You
logo
gotta make it so
discernible.
we can
I
rate it.
literally have no idea who that is. I mean, that could be anybody. So we'll move on. All right, Alisana. I've never heard anything by him. I mean, if I have, I don't remember, so I can't rank him.
I'm actually a pretty big fan of Alisana. They're not a band anymore, as far as I know. They haven't been for a while. To me, they are again another high registered singer and screamer. But they're cranking up every time for me.
All right. All right, Under Oath. So this is going to be kind of weird for a lot of people, but I don't have a lot of history with the band. I've heard some stuff. I've seen them live sometimes, and they're pretty good. So with that said, I'll put them in the pretty good category, just because I don't have I know there's some people who
Hmm.
love this band. I have to dive in more. I'll preface my ranking on that, but I'll put them in pretty good for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw them in pretty good as well. I I don't know. They've had some hits and some not so hits with me. If that
Yeah,
makes any sense.
yeah.
Um, pretty good for me.
All right, next up we got Escape the Fate. So this is a really nostalgic band for me. I have some history, not good enough for the truth of the cliche. But other than that, that's really the only song that's really ever stood out to me by them. So I'm gonna put Escape the Fate in. I'll put them in pretty good. I'll go pretty good.
I haven't listened to them enough. I couldn't give you a couldn't rank them.
Okay. All right. This one's gonna be easy for me. Whitechapel. I got a tattoo there. Phil Bozeman is the guy who inspired me to do vocals. I love Whitechapel. I love the new stuff. They're an all day, everyday band for me.
Yeah, they're messed up your screen there. Sorry. They are for me. They are a crank it up every time.
Cool. Ice Nine Kills. I love a lot of their discography. So they are going to be. See, their most recent album too, though, Silver Screen was really really well done. So I'm gonna put them all day every day. I gotta say,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I really dig all their songs are really good. There's some stuff off of Silver Screen. I will say this: there are some songs that are definitely made for radio friendliness, which are not my favorite, but the songs that do hit, they hit. So they're a band that I would listen to on a daily basis.
Gotcha. Gotcha. For me, they are pretty good. They got some songs I love, and I think I'm pretty much 50-50 on their releases. So for
Okay.
me, pretty good. If the ones that I like, I'll crank it up. The whole discography, I probably would not.
All right. Next up, we got Stick to Your Guns. So I really only know their most recent album. I like the song Cave Canem is the name of it. So I'm gonna put Stick to Your Guns in pretty good. I think that's a fair ranking for them.
All right, stick to your guns. For me, I just never got into them. So I mean, for me, they're tolerable. Maybe I just haven't given them enough time, but that's where they sit for me.
Okay. Next up is Black Veil Brides. I have no idea why they're in the metalcore tier. I don't like them, so I would never listen to them. They're a
Yeah.
never ever for never ever for me.
Um, yeah, I couldn't. If you played them for me, I wouldn't be able to tell you who they are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They're not for me. But what was me? I know that they are. Oh man, who's in this? I know the people that are watching this right now in the comments are gonna kill. I know
I
who
don't.
the
I don't
singer
know
of
this band
this
at all.
is.
So
I know who the singer. But I've never heard him. I mean, I honestly never have. So I gotta leave him down here.
yeah, me
So
too.
they're gonna attack the the meme metalcore band. From what I've heard,
Love these guys.
yeah, I'll put them in. I'll put them in pretty good, only because I don't have a lot of experience with them. But I mean, Stick Stickly. So
Yeah, I'm going with crank it up every time. I love the electronic. The way they do it is really good. So, um,
yeah.
I'm cranking it.
All right. Next up, we got Gideon. This band is awesome. I've seen them live a number of times.
Yes.
They're sick. They're heavy. Their most recent album literally reminds me of Limp Bizkit souped up. So they're gonna be a crank it up every time for me.
Yeah, for me, they're not a crank it up every time. They're pretty good. I like some of their stuff. I don't like it all. But for me, they're overall pretty good. I like them.
Next up, we got Like Moths to Flames. Again, another band I don't have a lot of history with because from what I have heard, it didn't really stand out to me. So I'm gonna leave them down below just because I don't have enough data points really to go off of.
Yeah, I've heard maybe I don't know, probably 5 songs from a couple different albums. For me, they're pretty good. They're pretty
Okay.
good.
So I have quite a few here that I can't even rank. Wow. So next up, I know that you love this band. I've never heard a song by this guy.
What?
I know,
What?
I never
Ugh.
have. I
Are
never
you
have.
even living, man? Are you
I
even living?
so I got to leave them down below, but I know that you're gonna rank them pretty high. But
I'm gonna say all day, every day. Again, that high registered singer, and I mean, they're just so good,
yeah,
so good.
yeah. Next up, we got Suicide Silence. So Mitch Lucker, the late, great, legendary Mitch Lucker. I mean, what a freaking voice that dude had. I haven't heard anything off of their most recent album. The self-titled one, they get a lot of crap for it, but I didn't think it was that bad. I'm gonna put Suicide Silence in the pretty good category.
If you played Suicide Silence for me, I wouldn't be able to tell you that it
Wow.
was.
All right.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
never. I just never listened to him.
All right. All right.
Weird.
Next up is Currents. I mean, I love this band.
Yeah.
They're
Which is
they're
interesting. You don't like. Well, I shouldn't say you don't like, but you haven't really jived with Invent Animate because Currents has a similar feel.
yeah, they well, so I like I said, I don't have a lot of experience, so I can't really. But from what I've heard, Currents is just has like that more harder edge to them, and it's less airy.
Yeah, it's more
Um,
groovy. Yeah,
yeah.
but it
So,
still has that same. It's similar.
so where it comes for me, it's like is Currents a crank it up every time or an all day, every day? Oh man, this is tough. Um,
Gotta pick one.
I think I will go with All Day Every Day because their album Place I Feel Safest. There's so many bangers off that record, and
I just threw in there too.
their EP is awesome. And from what we've heard off of their incoming album is also really good too. I think in our reactions we can say that they're very consistent,
Yep,
and they are.
very much.
Betraying the Martyrs. Everything I've heard from them, I really like. So they're gonna be a crank it up every time for me.
They are gonna sit right there for me as well.
Okay, next up we got Demon Hunter. Never heard a song by them.
Me neither.
I know the band name.
Yeah,
Never.
me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
same. Who's this?
Uh,
Who's Parkway Street? What?
Parkway, cul-de-sac. Okay, so we got Parkway Drive. You know, man. I mean, I'm literally wearing a Parkway Drive
Are you
shirt.
really?
Yeah. So they're gonna crank it up every time for me.
Oh, your video got small there for a minute. Sorry,
Oh,
folks. I keep checking on it, but
all right.
you're
Yeah.
good.
So they're Parkway Drive's are cranking up every time for me. I dig the band quite a bit.
Nice. Parkway Drive for me is definitely a crank it up every time.
Cool. Bad Omens. So I've never heard any song besides the one we reacted to, Dethrone. Um, and I will make this ranking solely off of that because, quite frankly, I have too many down here that I haven't ranked. So that's going to be a crank it up every time for me. Although the comment section did say, they said, ironically, they feel like Adam would like the rest of their material where I wouldn't because
Interesting.
it's not at all like that. So this could change after I hear a lot more of
Hmm.
their stuff. But as of right now, based off of Dethrone solely, I'm putting them in cranking up every time.
All right. Based on the discography that I've heard and seen them live twice, I'm gonna say pretty good. I think their latest release that you were just referring to has swayed me to not put them in tolerable.
Okay, all right. Bring me the horizon. So to be honest, like I really like Sempiternal a lot. Their old deathcore stuff, I don't think is very good. For me personally,
Hmm.
I don't get. The Pray for Plagues is obviously the meme song or whatever. I thought the what's that album with the umbrella? But it has like Happy Song on it. There's some songs on it that are okay. I mean, they're not bad. And then Ammo, there's some stuff that Bring Me the Horizon. Bring Me the Horizon. Um, I'll go pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. So I've only heard their newer stuff, and I think we reacted to one, right? It was kind of like that weird.
Yeah, that was a very odd EP
So
album
I
or
mean,
whatever.
yeah, but honestly, that's all I've heard from them.
Really?
So yeah,
Okay.
so for
Oh,
me, based on this is solely based on their latest EP, um, which I'm gonna put him here.
would you put him Never Ever?
Never.
Yeah. A Day to Remember. We'll move on here to A Day to Remember. I love A Day to Remember. So they're going to be an all day, every day for me. I
I
just
will
think
agree with you there, man.
they're killer.
Yep.
I love them. All right, next up we got Attila. I wouldn't say they're an all day, every day for me, but I'm going to crank them every time. They're a fun band to jam to.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Attila in pretty good. I mean, I'll listen to a couple of songs, but outside of maybe a handful out of their entire discography, I'm gonna put them in pretty good.
All right. Next, we got the Browning. Sick, sick, sick band. I've talked to their drummer Cody a couple times here and there. Not that that has anything to do with the music, though, of course, but we got to play with them over a year ago, and they're going to be a crank it up every time for me.
Yep. Yep.
Next, we got Periphery. So I don't have a lot of history with the band. From what I have heard, though, I've kind of dug, so I'm gonna put him pretty good. I know Adam will is
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
get
interested.
roasted for this. All right. I mean, I've been accused of purposefully not liking them, even though I try to enjoy them. Again, for me, it's tolerable. I'm sorry. I have to just be honest with how I feel. There may
Yeah.
be a time they shall move up the ladder, but right now, my brain is not accepted periphery for anything other than tolerable at this point.
All right. Well, hey man, it's your ranking. Do your thing. All
Listen,
right.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah. Memphis Mayfire. I haven't heard any of their earlier stuff, which I've heard is obviously their better material. Their newer material that I have heard is just not good. I know that Matty Mullins, the vocalist,
Yep.
once referred to himself as a voice of his generation, which I think is a little narcissistic and weird because you're a metalcore guy.
Oh
But
boy.
so I'm gonna give them tolerable just because I haven't heard their earlier stuff to make a fair assessment.
So
So I'll
that's
be
all I've
fair.
heard, and I'm gonna throw them in pretty good.
Okay. Bless the Fall, kick ass band. This band is so good, very underrated. I'll put them cranking up every time.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them in pretty good. They're a little too hardcore for me. So that's where I'm going.
All right. Falling in Reverse. So I so ooh. Okay, so let's look at their most recent. So the most recent releases, we got "Losing My Mind," "Losing My Life," "Drugs," "Popular Monster," and then the redone version of "The Drug in Me" is so the song is "The Drug in Me" is reimagined. "Drugs" is okay. The "Losing My" uh, see, I can never remember them. The songs are too close to each other.
Yeah, I don't know how you remember all of these. I just can't do it.
Uh, what is it? Losing my mind. I was trying to think of the lyric. It's losing my mind again. So that song, I can't really get on board with. The losing my life though, I do like.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna put falling in reverse. I'll put him and crank him up every time because Popular Monster is just an unbelievable song. And even some of their older stuff, like the fashion core,
Yep.
whatever kind of stuff, I
Yep.
do dig. Some of that. There's some stuff that I don't like though, but I think overall I'm gonna crank them up every time.
Yep. I'm gonna double up on that right there,
All right,
based on select
wage,
songs.
yeah, Wage War. I know that they get a lot of heat for the Pressure album. There's a lot of stuff off that I like. There's some stuff I don't like, but Wage War, they get a lot of heat. They say that, oh, they're a very just generic metalcore band, whatever. Did you know that the guitarist for Wage War wrote the breakdown in Popular Monster? Probably didn't because they're just that damn good. I'm putting Wage War in all day, every day.
Ah, you took the words right out of my mouth. All day, every day. I think their was it their first release? I think their first release was just
Blueprints, yeah.
yeah, Blueprints was just amazing. I don't think there was a bad note, drum beat, beat anything on that album. That album
Yeah,
was sick.
yeah. For all those sleeping, never heard them.
For all those sleeping, yeah, I couldn't pick them out of a lineup.
Sleeping with Sirens. Uh, it's tolerable. Oh,
Yeah,
this
I
is
was gonna say the same thing. Just because, like, when I listen to them, just like, it's okay.
yeah, yeah. Ocean's 8 Alaska. This band is very, very good. They're like even talent wise, they're just, dude. I don't know if you've ever heard this band, Adam, but like
I
they
have
are,
not.
they are a like their time signatures are just insane. The drummer is just
I've never even listened
unreal.
to them, to be honest with you.
They're a very weird kind of band. But it's weird. So they're almost so weird though. I gotta put them in pretty good just because some songs that I have heard are really good, and some of them are just like not. They don't click with me. But overall, I think they're a pretty good band. But the talent on these guys is unreal.
Yeah, yeah. I can't rank them. I haven't heard much, much of anything from them. So
Okay. Architects, they're cranking up every time for me. So good, so good.
hold on, your freaking screen blew up again. So Architects, I don't like everything by them, but I like the majority. So for me, they're gonna be a crank it up every time.
All right. Next, we have the Amity Affliction. They have some songs that are really, really good. They have some songs that are okay, and then they have that electronic album they did, which I thought
Misery,
was,
I
yeah,
liked that. That actually grew
yeah,
on me.
it wasn't for me. I'm gonna put Amity Affliction as pretty good.
All right, so Amity Affliction, I'm gonna crank them up every time.
Okay.
Yep.
Eskimo Cowboy. I know the name. I don't have any history with them though.
Yeah, I have no idea who they are.
If I were you, these are some buddies of ours. They're cranking up every time.
Yeah, so these guys were my 2019 most listened to artist. I had some
Sounds like an all day, every day.
ridiculous amount of hours listening to these guys. So to me, they are a never ever. Just kidding. All day, every day.
All right. Next up, we got Sienna Skies. Never even heard the band name before.
No meaning.
Bullet for My Valentine. They have a couple. They have a few albums that are really, really, really solid. And then, dude, I don't know what it like. I don't like. I feel like it was like 2000, like 12 and on. They were just awful, man. I just
When did
couldn't.
they start?
Was their first album The Poison?
I have
Uh,
no idea. All I know is whatever the first album was is what I listened to, and I didn't listen to them after that.
I like. There's like three albums by them that I can dig. I'm gonna put them as pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them in intolerable. Outside of that first album, I tried to dip back into them over the years, and I just never got there.
Okay. The Devil Wears Prada. Okay. I, I heard the Zombie EP when we went camping last year.
Bro,
That was a really really good EP.
yes,
I literally just I dude I have and I'm this is like my periphery with you. I have tried
yeah,
so hard to listen to this band, and I just can't get into them. I've seen them live a number of times.
yep.
I gotta put them tolerable, and I know there's the Zombie EP, but
But
you
they
gotta
got the
remember.
Space EP. They got a whole bunch of different stuff. But
So the Zombie EP is the only thing I've heard that I've really like been like, oh wow, this is actually like this is really good.
yeah,
Other than that, though, even live, man, I just it sucks, but I just can't. They're a band that I really want to like because I know that they're like a staple, but
yeah,
like, I can't get into them.
they're an all day, every day for me. I mean, how can you hear assistant to the regional manager and not love them? I mean,
See, that's the other thing too is that I can't associate song names just because I don't remember. But
go listen to it
all right, I
now.
will. Oh, okay,
Now,
well,
pause.
uh, uh, okay, that was good.
All right,
So we got
fit for a king. Fit for a king.
For a king, man. They're all day, every day. I freaking love this band.
Yeah, they're cranking up every time for me. I think it depends on the song. there are some songs that I could do all day, every day, but
Yeah.
definitely crank it.
All right, Atreyu, man, this band brings me back
Yeah,
to, man.
that's
I just remember myself, it was probably 2007, 2008, playing some World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade on my level 70 rogue, and just becoming the bull. Lip gloss and black. I mean, just
yeah, slip
dude,
gloss and black. Diddly
dude,
diddly
this
diddly diddly diddly
is
diddly.
like they're cranking up every time for me. I love Atreyu.
Yep, absolutely. I'll go with you on that one. Phineas, I want to hear you on Phineas.
Dude, they're just a really, really, really solid band. Uh, I will say there's some stuff that I can't really, get on board with. But they're just a really solid band. I'm gonna put them pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they're crank it up every time for me. They should be bigger than they are. I mean, great musicians. I just don't know why they don't catch on.
Yeah, I don't know why either, but we talked about that in our reaction to their song "No Death, No Forever."
Oh,
So
that's right. That's
check
right.
that out. The Ward Alive. I don't have enough experience with them to really rank them, to be
I
honest.
liked. I think it was maybe their first or second release. After that, I just kind of lost them. So to me, they're pretty good.
Okay. Thy Art is Murder. I'll say pretty good. Just because they have some stuff that I really do like, but there's a lot of stuff that I just nah. But so I'll say
Yeah.
pretty good. I'll say pretty good.
Okay. I haven't had much experience with them, so I'm gonna have to pass on them.
All right. Okay. Next up, we came is Romans. Um,
Yeah.
Lots of stuff I do like. Lots of stuff I do like. Some stuff is okay. They're pretty good. We came as Romans, and I have David. I have David's phone number. He's a really nice guy. I think Dave is a really talented vocalist. But I got to put We came as Romans is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say any of their early stuff to kind of mid career, before Kyle unfortunately passed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to say they are gonna be a crank it up every time for me. Up till probably their most recent release.
yeah, I agree. Of Mice and Men, I definitely prefer the Austin era. The Flood is a beautiful record.
Hey, you skip Motionless in White.
Oh, did I? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll back up. Motionless in White. Um, they're pretty good. There's some stuff that I really don't like. There's some stuff that's pretty sick. They're a pretty good band.
So I'm gonna go based on a handful of songs that I've heard. I can't judge the whole discography personally because I haven't heard the whole thing. But for me, they're gonna go into tolerable.
Okay.
Just never
So
jived with it.
yeah, yeah. So of Mice and Men, like I was saying before, really really cool band. So some of their newer stuff is good. Um, they got a little bit softer, and then they kind of came back a little bit.
Yep.
I gotta put them in a crank it up every time because man, like there's some songs that if they come on, I'm gonna pull them up real quick here on my phone just because I can't remember the names of the songs right off the top of my head. But man, this band though, especially when they had Austin before he had to leave the band.
Yep.
So like OG Loco and Ohio is on fire.
Ohio is
Those
on fire.
songs,
Yeah.
those songs are incredible songs. So I gotta put them in crank it up every time.
Yeah. Early stuff, I would say crank it up every time. New stuff, newer. Well, kind of like I don't know. They released that one weird album. I thought, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'd average them out at pretty good. Is
Okay.
what I would do.
All right. Make them suffer. Um. So they're I yeah, this is a tough one because their deathcore stuff is okay. Their new direction though, they're going in a really positive direction. I'm gonna put them in pretty good. Make them suffer.
Okay.
But they could like I think as this record comes out, they'll definitely rise up the ranks. I mean, they are really good. I mean, especially "Erase Me" was just a beautiful song. The deathcore stuff was like, all right, it's all right,
Yep.
but yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him in
Okay. Kill Switch Engage. This is a crank it up every time for me. This is one of the bands that built my metalcore foundation. So, uh,
Nice. Well,
yeah.
uh, this one goes right to all day, every day for me. Rose of Sharon. I mean, all those early, as daylight dies. I mean, love them, love them all day, every day.
Next up, we got Chelsea Grin. Not a huge fan of the Alex era. His vocals just never connected with me. Their new record is good, so I'm gonna put them in the pretty good category.
Nice. I don't listen to them at all, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Polaris, all day, every day.
Polaris.
Absolutely, insanely good band.
Yeah, all day, every day. They don't have a bad song.
All right. Tritium.
Trivtalica.
I dig them though, man. Like I really do a lot, especially their older stuff. I'm gonna put them in crank it up every time.
Yeah. So if I'm gonna say ascendancy. I'm gonna grade it just on ascendancy because that's where I fell in love with them, and I'm gonna go crank it up every time
All
for
right.
ascendancy.
Okay, we got Miss May I, sick band, really underrated band, just a
Yeah.
really consistent, solid band. They're a crank it up every time.
Nice. I am also going to say Miss May I is going to crank it up every time.
As I Lay Dying are the gods, so
Yeah.
they are all day, every day, no
All
question.
day,
The
every day.
epitome. This is the like you know how like prisoners when they go put to death row they get a last meal. If I got a last song, it would be an As I Lay Dying song. So yeah, that's how I want to go out.
Nice.
And that's you obviously agree. I know that.
Oh yeah, hands down. Asking Alexandria. What do you think?
So I've never liked anything that they've done.
Me
I I,
neither,
I
man.
gotta put them. I gotta put them in never ever. Just because
Me too.
I just never liked them. I mean,
I tried. I
yeah,
tried.
I just can't get into them, man.
Nope. Nope.
That's why I like, our friends in Saving Vice, when I see comments like, they're like the new Asking Alexandria, I'm like, no, because I've just never been able to connect with that band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
In Flames,
Oh my gosh.
I know where you're going to go with this. I'm going to put them in pretty good just from what I've heard.
Wow.
I think they're solid.
Oh, pretty good. All day, every day, man. All
Because
day,
that's
every
because
day.
you're ancient, bro. I mean, come
Bro,
on.
just because I started listening to them in 1997, the year you were born, okay?
I was born in '93.
Uh,
So you're putting them in all day, every day, yeah.
all day, every day.
All right, Pierce the Veil, another band I've never liked. I
Never
just can't
heard.
get into them. Never ever.
Never heard of them.
All right, Alex is on fire. I know the band name, never heard them.
Couldn't tell you what they sound like.
All right, You
Who?
Me at Six.
No
Again,
idea who that is.
no idea who that is. Dance Gavin Dance. So this is a tough one because uh, if you go by if you go by definition, crank it up every time. They're a band that I'll put them pretty good just because overall their music isn't something that I gravitate towards, but
Mm.
like when we do like the reaction videos in that setting, it's fun to listen to. But I don't put it on in the car. I'll put it that way. So I'll put them as pretty good.
So I'm gonna say crank it up every time. I'm a recently converted. If they're on, I'm cranking.
Cool. Amorosa. Know the band. Don't have any history though.
I liked them before they changed their singer. I think it was like a green and orange album cover.
Okay.
That was the new stuff. I like their older stuff, but for me, I'm gonna have to say if Emma Rosa comes on, it's gonna be pretty good.
All right. Hands like houses. Don't have any history with this band either.
So they're a solid band. I'm gonna put them in pretty good. They never have like like wowed me, but they're consistent, solid,
Yeah.
good band.
Kingdom of Giants. Again, another band I don't really have any history with. I know the name, but I've never really gotten into their music.
Yeah, so Ricky Armelino, was I think guested on one of their songs. Maybe even did some work with them. They're pretty good.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to say if they come on though, it's pretty damn good.
okay. Silverstein. They are so they're very nostalgic for me. Like my heroin man is like probably the anthem to my preteen years. Um, but put him pretty good just because I've kind of outgrown. No, I don't know. Like when I say that, I mean like there's nothing wrong with their music. It's just that I
No,
gravitated towards a heavier.
your tastes have
I've outgrown
yeah
them
gone
personally.
into a different way. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna also put them in pretty good. They again solid band, good releases. I haven't heard anything new from them. But
Yeah. Dead by April. I know one song by them. My friend Justin actually tried to get me into this band. They're tolerable. I mean, there's nothing spectacular about them. What I've heard is okay. They're tolerable.
yeah, never heard of them.
Um, Avatar. I know the band. I know that they're kind of like these weird piratey people, but I've never really listened to them.
Hmm. I have no idea who they are.
Our home. They're pretty good from what I've heard. I don't have a lot of history with them,
Ugh,
so I got to put them in pretty
educate
good.
you all day, every day,
Okay, wow, all right.
all day, every day.
And to round out the list, we got Berry tomorrow. Again, man, I just don't have a lot of history with this band either, man.
I
Like this
don't
is
either. I
so
don't know who they
weird.
are.
Like I know the bands, but I just haven't heard like this. So what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Double that. That's 20. 20. Is that really 27 bands down there? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Wow. Wow. All right. I can't make any comments on like 27 bands. That's wild. But
Hmm.
as you can see, guys, never ever. There's a lot of bands that are tolerable, like that aren't bad. But there's some that I just really don't like, and there's only three there. But God tier, I'm really stoked about that.
Hmm.
How many did you have? I don't see your screen, Adam. How many do you have in your all day every
My
day
all
tier?
day. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16. Wow. Okay.
16.
Yeah, I got 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 12, 13.
Yeah, you
Lucky
have 13.
13.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Cool.
Well, guys, this was really fun.
That was interesting.
Yeah, there's some other tier ones. There's like Deathcore. The problem though is that I want to make sure that I
Hmm.
I
We're gonna have to.
know
We
enough of
gotta.
the bands.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing for.
So, guys, comment down below, like especially for the bands that you see Adam and I overlapping on that we've never heard of. Suggest us some songs to put on the
Yeah,
channel.
that'd
We
be
can
cool.
check them out, react to them, and also if you have any other tier list ideas you'd like for us to do. This was a lot of fun. This was really interesting. We get to talk about the bands, and also kind of gives you guys a little bit of a look into like the bands that have inspired us and our amalgamation of musical interests and
Hmm.
what goes into our writing. Because as you can see, there's some bands that I'm higher on that Adam's lower on, and vice versa. Yeah, guys, really
It was
appreciate you
cool.
guys sticking around for the entire video. I know this was a little bit of a longer one, but hope this was entertaining for you. And let us know if there's something you'd like to see return. The tier list kind of videos. But yeah, guys, make sure before you head out of here, you hit the like button, you hit subscribe. Comment down below. Give us some thoughts.
Hmm.
Tell us some songs by these bands that we don't have never really heard of that we got to react to, and also follow us on all of our social media pages at TrueShot Band. And also make sure you check out our music. We're a band called TrueShot. If you didn't already know that, on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to music. And also, guys, head on over to our merch store, TrueShot.BigCartel.com. Link to that in the description below. Where, while you're over there, make sure you pick up a Paradigm inspired hoodie and use the promo code REACT, and that will get you 20% off that hoodie and also a guaranteed reaction video on the channel. So, guys, until the next video we have up here on the site, next tier, next reaction video, whatever, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for sticking around. Peace.
Peace.